Oh my goodness, we've actually made it to episode 5 of the War Career Mode in Stormworks, and we haven't died yet. That is absolutely incredible. However, I do feel like we are getting to the point where we might end up dying because we're challenging too many enemy ships, which is crazy. Anyway, what I want to do today is I want to go back out with this boat right here. However, I'm going to modify it in a way that you guys probably don't expect. We're going to remove the rear gun, we're going to remove the front gun, and we're going to design a different gun to be mounted directly onto the front. It is going to have no pivots, it's going to be aimed via the actual boat, and hopefully it'll be pretty cool. Anyway, welcome to episode 5 of the War Career Mode in Stormworks. I have another idea of something else I want to build today as well, so stay with me and eventually I'll build something kind of cool. At least maybe anyway. Alright, here we go. So, delete all of this back here. We are don't need it. We don't need it. Get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of this, and this guy. There we go, all the way forward to there. Cut! Yes! Delete the pivot, we don't need that either. Shove this guy across here and paint it all in. Alright, so far so good. Get rid of all of this stuff on the rear as well, of course. There we go. Delete the entire bottom, this piece, all of these guys. There we go, including this one, and fill that in as well. Bosh. Okay, very nice. We're also going to go down underneath. We're going to get rid of this and this guy, and I guess that guy as well. Wait, actually, what does that connect to? No, that's supposed to be there. Okay, right, so we're in a situation now where this thing is unarmed. But I want to arm this thing with a really, really powerful gun. So, if we go to autocannons, and we grab ourselves one of these, or possibly two of these, what do you guys think of mounting them on the deck forwards, and having these rip other ships to pieces? Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go ahead and build this up right here and right here. There we go, shove that bit in the center. We're going to go ahead and chuck that guy on there, and we're going to go ahead and chuck it on the back as well. There we go. Then if we go to rotary, yes, here we go. Shove those guys directly onto there, like this. I mean, that looks pretty crazy to me, and I don't know if they're mounted quite high enough, so I might have to flip them over. Yeah, that works. Oh, yeah, that totally works. We're going to check that across the back. We're going to go to autocannons themselves, and we're going to get one of those belts. Where is it? One of those flexi belts. Oh, I've added them too close together. That's a bit annoying. That is a little bit annoying. But if I check that down there like this, there we go. We can add ourselves an angled bit. Okay, and then we can seal all that off. Oh, yeah, we can. There we go. Alright, very nice. Now all we need to do is connect those belts together with these belts, and that's it. We have ourselves two rotary autocannons ready to fire at enemy ships. That's crazy. I can actually see a problem with this already, and that is that the front of our boat is actually weighed down a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean we're pointing towards the the sea right now. But as soon as I start moving, it'll lift the guns out of the water and allow us to fire forwards. Oh yeah, enemy warship has been spotted. It is directly in front of us right now. I just gotta get a little bit closer before I can fire upon him. But once we are close enough, this is gonna be interesting. Oh, maybe not actually, because he's decided to beach himself, much like the previous boat that we fought. I don't know why that happens, but there you go. Apparently the AI is not very good with, well, the land. Yeah, this might actually make things a little bit harder to aim, because I can't aim up and down with these things, and obviously I can't aim left and right. So trying to hit this boat might be pretty difficult. Also, it doesn't seem like he's even bothered that I'm here, so... Oh my goodness. Yes! There we go. Alright, we are hitting it pretty hard. But yeah, I can't aim up, so that generates its own problems. Unless I sit right here. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hold on, reverse backwards. Here we go. Now go forwards again. Oh. Explosions are happening. I'm gonna try and do this. Okay. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like randomly exploding. I might move away just in case it does actually explode. Kinda don't feel like it will, but there's always a chance. Alright, I'm gonna reverse backwards. Whoa. Gonna stop my cannons from moving. I'm gonna go downstairs. And I believe I can refill our thingamabobbies with this. Here we go. So just shove that into there. Keep it going. Oh yeah. I forgot that you actually get so many rounds now. That's crazy. Alright, open this up. Chuck that in there as well. Oh yeah. I should just attach these together, to be honest. I think I can just put a belt on them. And that would actually work out fine. But it is what it is. Alright, close this. There we go. Go back here. Jump up there. Close this off. My engine being on all the time is not great. But it is what it is. Can I turn on my spotlights? Can't really see very well, but sure. Alright, this could be a really bad decision on my end. Here we go. So I want to get underneath it, pretty much, and fire. Okay, I'm going to assume that it's going to take some damage from this. I don't know if that's true, but maybe. Alright, here we go again. We've mounted ourselves onto the... Oh. Yeah, this could be bad. I need a wave to pick me up, please. Please, 3, 2, 1. Yep, pull me into the water. Very nice. Okay, fire. Oh, yes! Oh! Big explosion there. I think it's about to die. Woo! We did it! And we didn't die. Okay. Oh, we have started a forest fire. Oh, I need to put that out. Oh, yeah, because I don't want, like, there to be no trees on the island anymore because of me. That would be bad. Oh, things are dying. I can hear it. That's really sad. That's really sad. Okay. This might take me some time. As it turns out, putting out a forest fire with just a fire extinguisher is very difficult, just like real life. So, there's no way I'm going to be able to put this out, unfortunately. If I had a cannon, maybe? A water cannon on that boat? Maybe we could have done it, but... Yeah, this is unfortunate. Wait, I didn't actually think about that before, but, yes, that ship didn't even try and shoot at me, not even once. I don't know why that happened. Very weird. Okay, so my plan earlier was to actually build something different. I was gonna go ahead and build a mini submarine that we would sail underneath an enemy ship, sail up into the enemy ship, putting C4 along the bottom of an enemy ship, and then sailing away. However, we're not going to do that today because, well, we're running out of diesel. And we are running out of diesel quite badly. If we run over here, you'll see we only have 2,363 liters. That is not very much diesel. So, we need to build a tanker. Now, I've built lots of tankers... What is that? I've built lots of tankers before in the past, but I want to go ahead and build something based on something, I don't know, from like 1940 or something like that. So, let's go ahead and build something kind of small, but kind of cool. Let's get to it. Alright, so when I said kind of small, but also kind of cool, I actually meant maybe something around... I don't know, let's go with like 30 meters long. So currently this is 20, and then if we go ahead and add an extra 10 meters on the back, just like this, well, that is the 30 meter long. I think that's pretty cool. What we're going to do from there is try and design it so that it looks nice. Don't know how that's going to go, to be totally honest with you, but we'll figure it out. So, we're going to go ahead and start with the front end. We're going to drop this down by 4 blocks. We're then going to jump straight into this guy. We're going to do 1 of those. We're going to jump into these guys. We're going to do 2 of those. And then we're just going to jump straight into this, where we're going to... Well, we could just do 1 of these. That would actually work out fine, but I'm thinking we go with 3 of these, and then we figure it out from there. So... you might be wondering, well, how are you going to shape it? This is how we're going to shape it. We're going to go ahead and shove that guy on there like so. We're going to do 2 of them. There we go. So just like this, that should be fine. From there, we're going to go ahead and obviously chuck these guys on. So chuck that down, chuck this on there as well. And actually, we might be able to just do this. I think that's correct, although I'm not entirely sure. From there, we're going to go ahead and chuck these guys on. And that is awesome. Yeah, that's actually fine. I think this actually fits right there like so, and that's pretty good. Okay, from here, we're going to go ahead and extend this guy upwards. We're going to extend this guy upwards as well, And the floor is actually going to be right there. Okay, so far so good. Okay, from there, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to extend it backwards with about 3 of these right here. All we need to do is to attach all that together is this guy, and then we attach this one onto there. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad so far. Do this a bunch of times so that it looks nice, and actually we need to do a very similar thing right here. That guy and that guy. That is awesome. Alright, I'm going to delete this all the way backwards to there for right now. What I now want to do is extend it going backwards. And the main reason for this is so that it doesn't look too stubby. So, if I chuck this guy on here like this, I should be able to extend this backwards. I might just do 2. Yeah, let's just do 2 for now. What we can do from there is grab a 1x2. Or sorry, a 2x2. Shove these guys on here like this. Very nice. Send those guys backwards, just like so. And that is all really good so far. Yeah. The problem is we end up with this situation where we end up with bits where I don't know whether we can actually fit things onto them. But that actually totally works. Yes. And there we go. First of all, that bit is all good. Now we just move on to this guy, which we are going to extend backwards by 2. Just like this. And that is how big this thing is going to be at the front. All we need to do from there is attach this guy on, so that's going to go there, this guy's going to go here, and essentially we're just going to send it all the way around the bottom, and then zoom it backwards. Okay, this actually doesn't look too bad so far. We obviously need a bridge on this, and I'm gonna do it here in the center. Yeah, we're gonna have a center bridge. I think that'll be awesome, actually. So, chuck this guy on there, chuck that guy on there, very nice, and zoom it backwards a little bit. Okay, that's looking lovely. That's actually looking pretty good. From here-ish, we're gonna go ahead and extend this backwards to about there, and I don't know what else I'm gonna do. I was actually thinking, maybe if we open this bit up a little bit, that would actually look pretty good. But I don't really know. So let's do this. Actually, delete that guy. Chuck this into here. We'll go ahead and box off a bit of this. Box off a little bit of this. And then the bridge is actually gonna go on top. Kinda like that. There we go. So bridge is gonna go up here. Although, I guess all of this is going to be attached together anyway, so let's just go ahead and build a wall there. We're going to build a wall here. And I guess windows are actually going to be placed into all of these. So, windows it is. We're going to go with a porthole there, a porthole here. And unfortunately, we can't really fit one in the center. So, we should just add normal windows, I think. It's a bit weird to do that, but I think it's okay. Alright, let's go ahead and paint them black. There we go. And on the inside, black as well. There we go. Alright. Looks a bit weird, but I feel like we can work with this. Alright, zoom it all the way around. There we go. That's awesome. We needed doors. Yes, we did. So I'm going to add some doors to this, which hopefully look okay. So we're going to be doing this. Flip it over, put it there like that, and then do it on this side. Bosh. Alright, yeah, that works. Unfortunately, what that means is the roof or the ceiling that is inside of this is not tall enough. It actually needs to go up to like here, which feels weird, to be honest. It feels very, very weird, but maybe it's okay. All right, just chuck that onto there. Chuck that onto there. Yeah, I guess it's fine. One thing that I will say, by the way, is the draft on this is actually extremely tiny. I always do this. I build my boats so that the bottom of the hull is actually too skinny. And that is exactly what I've done on this one, which is kind of annoying. But I like the way that the rest of it looks, so I'm actually just going to go ahead and continue with it. And we're going to hope that it works. We're just going to hope that it works. I'm sure it'll be fine. There we go, do all of that, all the way around the backside. Awesome. The thing is, I do think we need to put like a line here. This needs to be our water line, which ain't great. Yeah, I need to make the rest of my boats deeper. Yeah, a lot deeper, otherwise it just looks bad, and then I have to redo them or whatever, and that's not good. So we're just going to continue with this one for now, but obviously in the future, I need to think about that more. You know what, actually? No, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Grab the bottom of the ship. Here we go. The entire bottom edge of the boat. All the way to the back, all the way to the side, and all of the underside. Here we go. This is crazy. This is crazy. Cut it. Oh, yeah. All right, so, bit weird, but what I'm going to do is continue this one down. There we go. We're going to continue this one, obviously, the same way. Across, please. There we go. And then one of these. And I think this will actually give us enough depth that it will actually look okay. Maybe. Because before it was way too skinny and way too close to the ground. But now, who knows? Alright, chuck all that backwards to there at least for now. And then if I can sort of attach this onto the bottom, that would be amazing. And actually, if I bring this backwards... Oh, it's not gonna fit quite right, is it? No, because the front end will need redoing. But that's okay. Alright, paste that in. Merge that together. I'm gonna sort this bit out at the front. And then we're gonna sort the back end out. And I think that'll be great. Obviously, it pokes out too far now, because I only wanted it to be 30 meters, but we'll see. Oh yeah, there we go. That looks so much better. Yes. Okay, so what I need to do now is actually figure out the back end. I've gone ahead and actually raised this up so it is really high, but we obviously need to attach this bit to this bit. Now, I don't necessarily need it to attach on nicely. I just want it to attach on somewhat nicely. I also think I want to get rid of some of this, which I know is a bit crazy, but I'm thinking we actually have this bit be a little bit lower, because in reality, we need to add a cannon up here to defend ourselves. I don't know whether we can attach things on like this, maybe, and build it down like that. So this guy goes down like this, obviously, and then we attach that bit on next. Kind of like this. I don't know, like, we can't do that fully because then obviously this becomes an issue. But if we deleted these and we attached these pieces on, then sort of, we could sort of do that. I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, that does sort of work. However, we end up with a situation here. You know what? I think that'll do me. Yeah, I think so. I've just gone ahead and boxed this bit off right here. We can have the propellers be, like, underneath, and that'll look alright. In the end. Maybe. Alright, well, I've done some things to this. I've actually painted it a little bit, but let's jump on the boat so that we can actually see it during daytime. Here we go. That's it. Let's go a little bit more daytime. Alright, and... I mean, I need to be able to see this from the side, so we'll actually chuck it back into the middle, delete this guy, spawn it in, and voila! We have rusty holes on the sides, we have this weird little thing going on right here, and we have ropes. I think that looks actually really cool. What I need to do now is obviously add a bridge on top of there. I need to add a deck gun onto there. We need to add the actual tanks into here, and also back there, we're gonna have 2 tanks. And then I need to add something at the back. I also apparently need to fix that. Why is that even there? Okay, next thing then that I want to do, obviously was going to be the bridge. I really wanted to add the bridge onto here straight away, but I don't know if that's necessarily the thing that I want to build in next, but maybe it is. So I'm thinking we go ahead and chuck this guy onto here. I am going to round off the edge as we get to the top, and then we're going to build a wall here, and this is what we're going to use as like a little barrier thingamabobby. If I wanted the bridge on top of here, we obviously have to build it in, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that real quick. I might do it in one. Yeah, you know, I wasn't going to, but actually, I do think building it in one makes a lot of sense. In terms of, it just adds a little bit of extra detail that otherwise we wouldn't actually have. And yes, that definitely works. So, now we have to figure out how the windows work, and to be totally honest with you guys, the windows are just going to go all the way around. We're just going to build them in. So, center window, that'd be good. We're just going to go ahead and build them in like this. On the sides, 1, 2, 3, and that'll do me, I think. Yeah, that's probably big enough. We'll go ahead and zoom these guys across here. That looks alright. I don't know if it looks awesome. I don't know. The thing is, sometimes we could actually do this. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, leave that one there. Shove this guy into here. Delete these windows that are there and this piece. Shove a roof onto there. Build a wall into here real quick. Shove these guys in. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we need a door. We do need a door. So let's say we had a door here. Like this. Then we can seal this bit up to the ceiling. We can add a tiny window in there. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then that's all good. I think then maybe 2 little windows on the back like this would be cool. We'll flatten this area off right here. We'll obviously seal all this together right here like this. And attach it all together. I think that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Alright, zoom that up. Zoom this across. Alright, it looks okay. But I want the shape to change around this bit. So, we're going to go to there. We're going to delete these guys. I am actually going to chuck this on here like this. Obviously without the centerpiece. We'll delete those guys right there. And then I'm going to do the same at the back. So if I go across 4, chuck that on there. There we go. Chuck this on here. Delete this one. All the way down to here. Chuck these guys together. And that one. And then these ones right here. One there. And these ones here. Zoom that up. Zoom this bit up. And yeah, I feel like that is actually nicer. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just randomly building here. I tell you what, one of the things that I always forget to add that is actually very important to us is ladders. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and do that real quick. We're going to add a ladder right here so we can get on the side. And we're actually going to add one right here as well so that we can get on this side. Unfortunately, I've deleted that in the wrong place. That there and that there. We are actually just going to go ahead and delete these guys as well. Chuck that on. Chuck that on. Do the same right here. 1 and 2. Yes. Okay. This is looking alright. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. To begin with, I was thinking it looked actually pretty good, but now I'm not so sure. It kind of looks a bit weird to me now, and I don't really know why. One thing that I might do is add a little bit of extra, like, oomph around here. I do think that would look pretty good, so we're going to get a slightly darker grey, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and chuck it on here like this. We're going to zoom that across, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So those guys go there like that. I think that looks pretty nice. We're going to have to do a bunch of random additions like that, but yeah, I don't know where they're going to go. Well, we're just going to continue with it and hope that in the end it looks alright, but I just don't know. On top, in the middle, we're going to go with a nice little container. We're going to do it in... I kind of want to do it in this red. I know it's the same shade as the bottom of the boat, but I think it would be pretty cool. So we're going to get rid of it. 3 on this side, 3 on this side. We'll attach it to the floor, and we'll attach it to the floor over here as well, obviously. There we go. And we're just going to zoom it out a little bit. There we go. We're going to go to this end, and we're going to attach that together there as well. And then on the sides, we're just going to go ahead and do this. Boom. All the way to the edge. Very nice. zoom that across the bottom, delete this guy, go up by 2, go up by 2, send it across the top, like so. Do the same thing right here, and attach it all together. So that goes there, this goes here. I think if we attach this guy to there and there, we can attach it to the ground. There we go. And then, I don't know, some other places in the center, we're going to do the same thing. Yeah. So how wide is this, actually? This is 23. So let's go across by like 10 or so. And we'll do it there. So here we go. This goes out. Delete this guy. Shove it on there like that. Very nice. And then 10 from this side. Where's that? Ooh, here. All right, do this. There we go. Delete this guy. Do 2 of those. Shove that into there. Attach that guy to there and there. Attach that guy to there and there. I think it looks better like this, actually. So we'll do that one. And we'll do that one. And that looks interesting. I then want to do a very similar thing at the back. So let's do that next. Okay, there we go. I've added one to the back as well, and although that looks okay, it's not quite right because, well, the engine needs to go somewhere and it's probably just below this. So, although it looks okay, I do think we need to change it up a little bit. Although, in reality, maybe we don't. If I zoom this down to, like, there, we zoom it all the way across to here, we attach this guy from there to there, we do from here to here, and we attach all this together at the bottom. Well, realistically, this is a decent-sized tank. You know what, actually? I'm starting to think maybe this shouldn't even be here, because, well, I want the actual tank to be down in the ground, so if it is down in the ground, we just go ahead and build over it, and I think that'll be fine. Which is a bit weird, but also, I think it makes sense. Yeah. What I will do, however, is grab this color that we've got up here, and I will add, like, a weird little hatch on the top, so we will do something along the lines of this. There we go, all the way down to here, across there. We'll actually attach all of this together, and we will actually box it off as if it looks like a hatch. So that goes there, that goes there. We'll go across a bunch. That's 9, there we go. We'll go across 9 from here as well. That's there we go. We'll just attach all that together like so. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird doing it like this, but I think that makes sense. What I'm also going to do is delete these bits in the middle. There we go, and I'm going to shove these guys across, and that should make it look better as well. Yes! Alright, cool. Okay, things are being done. I do think I might change the color of this bit up here to be different, but I'm not entirely sure what kind of different. Maybe just like a lighter grey would look cool. And I think that's true. Yeah, a slightly lighter grey up here might be nice. There we go, all the way around there, all the way around here, all the way down there, and all the way across the back. Yeah, pretty crazy. The thing is, at the minute, a lot of this is just grey. So maybe if we do add a bunch of different colours all over the place, then maybe it would actually be good. But who knows? At the minute, I feel like it just looks pretty bad. It is also very squidged, which is not something I generally like building, but yeah, a little squidged boat is feeling a little bit strange to me right now. On the interior, we're just going to go ahead and zoom across here. There we go. Paint all of this. I am going to go ahead and paint that, and all of the interior a little bit as well. And that should be good. So paint this guy. Okay. Actually, realistically, the interior should be more like a brown color, shouldn't it? Yeah, maybe that makes more sense. On the interior, we go with brown. There we go. Do that little bit. Do that bit. Hey. Okay. Maybe not on the exterior, though. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Get rid of all that. There we go. Am I using the right color? Who knows? All right, jug it, jug it, jug it, jug it. Hey. Okay. I feel like that definitely works. It just needs, fixing a bit. Yeah. Okay, sorry I'm jumping all over with this thing. I generally jump around when I have no idea what I actually want something to end up looking like, and this is one of those situations. I don't know how I want this to look, and that's making me bothered. It's making me bothered. It would be nice to have a really angled funnel on this, but again, that's another situation where I have to try and figure out what that will actually look like. Sort of, if that makes sense. So if I attach this to, like, here, for example, and I do that, is that angle too weird for me? Is it, or is it gonna be okay? I don't know. I think maybe if we just attach it all together, it should be fine. Maybe. I don't know. That looks crazy. It looks crazy. I think it needs to be slightly smaller if I am gonna do it. So, redo. There we go. Undo. Redo, undo. If I attach this guy to here, here, we raise this up by that much, sure. And then I attach this guy. I think it has to go like here, to be honest. It's pretty crazy, though. It is pretty crazy, but if that goes there and I do this, then we attach all these pieces in. Maybe, just maybe, that will be okay. I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm struggling, guys. I'm struggling. But what I'm going to do is just use it for now. If it needs changing, I think we can. But I think maybe a straight up funnel would actually look nicer in the long run. But that's in the long run and not right now. So maybe this is fine. All right, check all those guys onto there. It doesn't look... it looks weird. Oh, I don't know. This is stressing me out so much. I've added that funnel right there. I actually think that looks all right. It's sort of the right size for us, I think. And we can probably deal with it. So that's good. What I need to do next then is probably get this thing moving. Realistically, I'd actually really like this thing to be a steam-powered boat. However, I don't have very much coal, and that means that, well, we're gonna have to go with a diesel boat. So let's go ahead and shove a diesel engine in and see if she'll move. Okay, I wasn't gonna do this, and I don't know why my voice just did that, but essentially we've taken the AA gun from the back of the smaller boat that we started with today, and we've just chucked it on the front of here. This thing will do a lot of damage to whatever we want to fire at, and that's pretty good. What I need to do now is use this guy right here, and essentially I just need to add a bunch of ammo below and attach it all together. So a large drum, we can chuck one of them right there, one of them right there, and that will be a lot of ammo. So we'll go with high explosive for now. That's fine, high explosive, and high explosive right there. All we need to do from there is attach these guys together. So go to ropes, bam, and there we go. Hopefully, that'll work. I still don't know if I like it. It's such a weird design choice. I have added this seat at the front with the autocannons. I decided to go with these instead of a battle cannon, which I was originally going to use because, well, we can fight air and ships if we need to. Obviously, it's not for fighting ships, really. It's for just defending ourselves if, like, an aerial attack comes in. But it will do the job, so I think we just add the engines and we just go for it, to be honest. It's weird, but I think it'll work. We still need a way to get up into the bridge. We need a way to get down into the body of this thing as well. And we need, obviously, all of the equipment as well. But, it's growing on me, I think. Right, I've been banging on about it for a little while now. We need to shove an engine in here right now. So, we're going to go with a 3x3 engine, and we're going to make it quite large. We could go with 2 of them, actually. That would be interesting. 1, 2, 3. I mean, we don't need that many engines. Oh, we don't need it to be that big, but if it works, I don't know. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we don't need all of this, but we don't have to run them at full RPS, meaning that it will actually be more efficient to have more cylinders if we run them at lower RPS. So actually, that's fine. What I'm now going to do is shove one of these on just for fun. We're going to go ahead and shove this guy on next. There we go. We're going to need that for the starters. And we're obviously going to shove a clutch onto the rear. Here's the clutch. Bam! Okay, yeah, I feel like that works. Obviously, the funnel's there. I need a way of getting down into the engine room, and in here just makes sense. So let's go and delete all of this. We'll actually add a hatch directly into there so that we can get down. There we go. So we can climb down here. Hatch. No, ladder. Ladder is what I'm actually wanting. Here we go. So ladder is going to go in here. Bosh that down to there. That allows us to get down into this room. This is going to be our fuel tank, so we need to remember that. We're going to go and delete those, shove those guys on there. Okay, I do want the interior on this to be a little bit nicer than what we normally build, so hopefully we can do that. Anyway, the next thing we're going to add is a temperature thing right there. You don't need this. You can actually do it through composite data, but I prefer just adding it like that. Starter is the next thing we need to add. So we're going to go ahead and shove those guys right there. And actually, we'll go ahead and shove 2 of them on the side as well, because we can. So there you go. That's the reasoning. I am going to go ahead and shove this around here, just like that, which looks weird, but sort of okay. And I am going to go ahead and just build this randomly down to the end like so. I'm going to bring this out as well, and I'm going to shove that right there. And I guess I'll build this up too. Okay. So far that's a bit weird, but don't worry about it just yet. We need exhaust to go out the roof. So that is the next thing we're going to do. Exhaust, here we go. This guy. We're going to go ahead and chuck that straight up just like this. And straight into the ceiling, please. Here we go. I'm going to do it in this color because I can. Bosh. And we're actually going to just send it across like this. Here we go. So this guy goes on here like this. And we're just going to send it across to around there, I think. Yep, that's the perfect place. Okay, so angle it upwards. Send it up through the funnel. And that will be great. Okay. Zoom it all the way up to the tippity top. Delete that guy, delete this guy and this guy. And, well, we're just going to go ahead and start adding these. Where are they? These guys, straight to it. And this is going to be our exhaust. Alright, angled piece. Bring it up like this. Angled piece, bring it up like that. Fluid ports, let's go ahead and check those guys straight on there. 1, 2, 3. And paint it. Yes! Alright, very nice. I do want to be able to get into this room if possible. So we're actually going to open this up. I'm also going to go ahead and paint the floor in green. Just like the other bit of the room. There we go. It's a bit weird to have this open like this, but it is what it is. Alright, next thing is the air supply. So how am I going to go about doing that? Well, if we type in engine, which we already have, we grab ourselves the air inlet, we shove that on here, we zoom it upwards, just like so, we send it slightly sideways, just like this, then we send it across. We should be able to just zoom this along to the same place pretty much. Delete that guy, shove this guy on there like this, have it zoom straight upwards from there, and essentially we add the exact same thing we've added right there, right next to it. There you go. Alright, delete these guys, shove this on, 1, 2, 3, we now have an air supply. Okay, next thing is fuel. The fuel is gonna go on here just like this. We're gonna zoom it actually straight down through the floor and into the fuel tank, which is gonna go right here. So, let's go ahead and grab this color to begin with. We're gonna grab a pipe. It's gonna be a straight pipe, and we're just gonna zoom it across. There we go. Grab ourselves an angled piece, shove it like that into there. Go ahead and paint all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And, well, we're just gonna go ahead and pipe it straight in. Here we go. So, pipe. We're gonna go with a dark pipe this time. We're gonna get a straight dark pipe, shove that on there, and we'll do this. Okay, that actually works out quite nicely. So, inside of here, we need to get ourselves an angled piece again. So, grab this one. We're gonna shove it directly onto there like that, which I believe is the right way around. We get ourselves a fluid port, and we chuck it directly into there like this. That's all good. Alright, we are going to need, though, a spawner for actual diesel. Before we add actual diesel, though, I'm going to go with fresh water, just like I have in this bit, and we'll see how low in the water it is. A lot of our stuff at the minute is actually quite close to the front, so we are a little bit front heavy. That's okay. Right, okay, now it's time for the coolant, and previously we have used the sea to do the coolant. I actually kind of like the idea of using actual heat exchangers of sorts, but that might cause some issues. So I think we are actually going to use the sea again. But that's kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. Anyway, let's go straight to pump. Here we go. We are going to grab pumps. We're going to chuck them on here like this. One there and one there. We will pipe it directly into the engine via these pieces. Here we go. 1 and 2. And on the floor, we'll delete these guys. We'll shove a pipe directly into there and into there. And or we'll pump it together. The thing is, actually, delete one of these. Desalination. This might be a great thing to have. I don't know whether in and out is on the same place. Fluid out. Fluid out. We can't have it that way around, but... Oh. No, it has to go that way around. So this guy has to flip. There we go. I don't know if that is gonna work. But maybe? So if we check that on there. Fluid in goes through a fluid port, obviously. Like this. And then fluid out goes through a fluid port as well. We paint all of those guys like that. On the interior, we're just going to go ahead and paint these guys again. Okay. And hopefully that's fine. So it goes through one desalination thing. I don't know if that's enough. What I can do, though, is maybe add multiple next to each other. Is that crazy? Maybe it is. Who knows? So 1, 2, 3. Alright, cool. That's an extra 3. Is this out? Please say this is... Nope. Hold on. Is that out? Yeah, there we go. Do those guys. Grab this, delete that, chuck it on that end like that. And then maybe because we've got so many coming in, that will work out fine. But I don't know. I've never used these before. But anyway, that should actually be pretty much everything that we need. So we're going to go with it. We also need a ladder to get from here upstairs. Which is kind of annoying because I didn't want it in the center. Oh, well, I kind of wanted it in the center of the room. Because I can't put it there. We can't really have it too close to the front, so maybe here. This is not the center of the room at all. It's in a really, really weird position, but maybe it'll be fine. Okay, so ladder is the next thing. Delete that guy, chuck it onto there like that. Go to the underside, do this all the way down. And maybe that's okay? Maybe it's not. Who knows? Alright, make sure it's all the same color. Downstairs is fine. I don't know. I don't know if I like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is quickly go to the back end. We are going to delete a hole right here. And yes, we're going to send it straight through. Now, something that you guys will probably suggest in the comments down below is... Whoa, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, something that you guys will probably suggest is actually like a double hull. And to be honest, that is a very, very, very good idea. I didn't do it on this one, but some of our future builds will probably have a double hull. Because, well, they probably need one. But anyway, for now, yes, we are not doing a double hull. Anywho, shove that right there. There we go. Attach these guys directly together. On the inside, I might as well paint it. There we go. We are going to need a gearbox in there somewhere as well, so we'll probably end up doing that. But for now, just zoom it this way, get ourselves a propeller, chuck it on the back, and that should be good. There we go. Alright, we have ourselves propellers. Lovely. Lovely jubbly, actually. That's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and chuck that on there as well. We'll chuck this right here and right here. Okay. Right, so far so good. As we go backwards, we are going to go ahead and chuck this guy on. There we go. And we are actually just going to add a rudder directly onto that. Here we go. Oh, it's not in the right place. Of course it's not. Alright, that goes there, and that goes there. Alright. Delete these, chuck them in the right area. There we go. And we are good. Those are tiny rudders. Those are tiny, tiny rudders. I actually don't mind the idea of actually chucking another rudder directly behind that rudder. Just like that. Alright, cool. And then I am actually going to attach these guys together. Ooh, that looks interesting. That does look interesting. Yes. Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that guy as well. Chuck one of these on there. That looks alright. Right, so, what do I need to do right now then? I want to be able to fill up my fuel tank, if possible, with diesel at whatever point I want. So, I'm going to delete a hole right here. We're going to get a fluid port. Yes, we are. We're going to chuck it right there. And we're actually just going to add some pipes until it gets to the top to allow us to refill with diesel whenever we want. Alright, here we go. So, this goes up here like so. We delete that piece. We chuck that one on there. And we actually just shove a hose connector directly onto that. There we go. Bit weird, but sort of okay. Alright, good. So that's there. What we're then going to do behind it is get ourselves a fluid port, and we're going to chuck that right here. We're going to add a gas relief underneath that, just like so. And I am going to paint these guys this color. All right, good. And then all I need to do is attach a pipe to this to allow that to actually work. There we go. All right, cool. So that's gas. This is going to be liquid. Yeah, a liquid release valve. Yeah, sure. That works. All right, good. We then need to go ahead and add some for the actual fuel tank. Oh, sorry, the cargo tank. And then we can maybe actually just go do our first job. That is to just go get some diesel. Okay, here it is then. So I filled the diesel tank with diesel instead of water so that we can actually move. I have gone ahead and allowed these lights to actually work. I've connected the engines to the steering in there. We've got the ability to go downstairs, got the ability to go upstairs. This should actually allow us to shoot. Are there any enemies around us? It doesn't look like it. There might be a helicopter over here. Is this a helicopter? No, it's a small-sized vessel. So we should be okay there, but we don't have any equipment on board, which is actually a really bad thing. However, and there is a however here, if I get rid of my boat now, it will remove some of the diesel. And if it removes some of the diesel, well, we end up in a worse situation than before. So, oh, I don't have a throttle. I'm going to have to do it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to have to do it. Throttle it is. Well, I guess that allows me to add some equipment. We're just going to go ahead and chuck a fire extinguisher at the back right here. We're going to chuck a welder back here as well. You know what, actually, just do one welder. We're going to do the other type of welder right here. We're going to put a defib above, if possible. Here we go, defibrillator. And we're going to shove a bunch of first aid kits in here as well. There we go. Alright, good. We're also going to chuck one of these guys up front, just here in the floor. And we're going to chuck a welder over there as well, because we can. We're also going to chuck some of those in the engine room, because that would be very useful too. So, welder, fire extinguisher, just like this, and fire extinguisher. Beautiful. Okay, that'll do me. I think we're good now. The thing is, obviously, we still might have some fuel issues, but it is what it is. Here we go! We're doing it! A bit wibbly-wobbly, but that's okay. Also, we don't have an autopilot on just yet. Oh, we are very wibbly-wobbly, but yeah, it is fine. And we are moving. Did I expect to be able to move like this? No. Did I expect it to be so wobbly? No. But it is working, and that's all that matters. I don't need to go there. I actually need to go over there. I did just see the island. Ooh. Ooh. I'm pretty sure it's that way. Or is it over there? We'll find it. We will find it. Anyway, our engine temperature is right here, for both engines. Our engine RPS is right there. Our battery's on this side. Our fuel is on this side. And as you can see, it's going down pretty quick. I am going to slow down both engines. Down to like 50% throttle. If I can get it bang on 50, that'd be great. There we go. And we're sailing. I don't think it looks too bad, actually. You know, it took ages to build this thing, like crazy ages. Also, side note, it is still missing a bunch of stuff. This thing needs bilge pumps. It also needs an autopilot. It needs interior lights, exterior lights, possibly a rear weapon, possibly a better front weapon. Don't even know if this works. In fact, I'm pretty sure the top guns don't work. It's gonna need pumps, etc, etc. There's a lot of things this needs. Also, if we did extend it, we could have two tanks. We could have a front one and a rear one. And I think that would be really, really cool. A bed would also be awesome. And obviously more interior work. But we don't have access to that right now because I wanted to get on with the actual job at hand. And that was filling this thing with diesel for our other vessels that we're going to build very soon. Alright, don't... Oh! Did that damage us? It didn't. That was quite a hard hit, though. Oh boy, these waves are big. Alright, well anyway, let's go ahead and open up this door and go ahead and jump outside if possible. It'd be really nice to be able to jump straight across to there, but never mind. Okay, this weather is really, really causing havoc. My boat's gonna flip. Okay. Okay, please come back up. That would be very good. Hopefully it's not just stuck now. It might be that it can right itself. Or it might be that it just wants to flip over fully. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. Well, I disconnected the boat from the connection point, and she's righted herself. She's also full of diesel now, and when I say full of diesel, only the... Oh man, I can't see. Only the tanks... only the fuel tank. I haven't actually filled up the cargo tank, so let's do that next. And then we're gonna get out of here. Let me go ahead and just keep reattaching this, because I'm hoping it will pull us closer in. That would be good. That would be really good. Yeah, so we're gonna fill the tank as much as we can. We're then gonna get out of here and hope for the best. But anyway, today's video has been quite long. We designed and built our own boat, our own little tanker boat. We haven't had to go to war with it just yet, but we probably will. And yeah, I actually think this is a great thing that we've built. Once we've actually sorted our diesel problems, which this boat will hopefully do, we might make a locomotive or a train, travel all the way up to the Arctic so that we can buy some propellant through some missiles. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, where hopefully I don't explode, and hopefully we can take all this diesel home. Anyway, thank you for watching episode 5 of the Hardcore Career Mode series, War series, in Stormworks, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.